right, we're here with Tyson Jominy, VP of Data Analytics with JD Power. And we're at the JD Power Auto Summit.
We are.
And we're rolling, we're off. And thanks for giving us a few minutes because they're keeping you busy today.
I mean, it's cold outside, but it is hot in here. The takes are hot, right?
Hot takes. So they've given you several roles today. You've been on the stage nonstop, playing MC. What's your just general energy around the people that have showed up and what you all are trying to do?
Well, we're trying to keep the energy level really high. I mean, we just did the electric slide in there. I mean, we're doing whatever we can. I mean, you know, the weather impacted this event. There's no getting around it. But what I really like is sometimes when you get a smaller event like this, you can't hide. Like, someone can't just show up and be on their phone. Everyone's kind of chatting with each other. So I think a lot of great connections are going to be made here while we're sharing a lot of great information on stage.
So let's talk about some of the things that you are sharing on stage. You all obviously doing a lot of work on the data analytics side. So much going on, so much change in the industry. Are there a couple points that dealers should be paying attention to that maybe we're talking about in here and you're going to release soon?
Well, one thing that we're going to see this year, the good news is that we expect sales to continue to increase.
It's great news.
Yeah, it is great news. Dealers' inventory has been piling up. We're going to see more incentives to try to move that inventory as well. So dealers should start to see some hopeful velocity increases here in 25. At the same time, though, we are expecting, though, that their grosses will continue to compress, to get tighter, because competition's increasing. We are seeing those inventory levels rise, you know, both for other dealerships in town of the same brand and then, of course, competitors. So it'll be a tighter market, but it's still going to be a very healthy market. We are projecting dealers to make still about 50% more profit on a total basis than they were in 2019.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be upset about that. What do you see for the used car market? Obviously, we're seeing a lot of change, maybe some stabilization, dare we say it? What do you think?
So we expect used prices to be down about 3% this year, so they're still going to fall. And the conundrum with the used car market, though, is that volumes are also going to decrease. Normally, when volumes fall, we would expect prices to go up, but we are still coming down from those post-COVID supply chain highs. We're still working through all of that. So we are actually going to see fewer lessees coming back to market next year. I mean, we're going to see a very tight, I say next year, 25. Yeah. We're going to see a very tight number. We're basically down to 2 million lessees coming back to market. I mean, 3 years ago, that was 4 million.
It's interesting. You start to think about, remember the mindset you were in end of 2021 into 2022, and you couldn't find a lease anywhere.
Right. So no one was leasing then, which means no one's coming back with leases now. And as we know, the 3-year off-lease vehicle is the backbone of the used car market. And we basically are removing that for the next couple years. I mean, in the end, what we're going to find is that the COVID environment is going to be a decade-long experience because it's going to take that long until the used volumes get back to where they were pre-COVID.
Do you have any thoughts or insights toward what's happening in the lending market? You know, obviously, we're going to see what happens, new administration, we're going to see what happens with inflation and interest rates, but do you have any thoughts or insights on what lending is going to do?
Certainly, lending has gotten better. We've seen the buy rate for dealers fall, you know, as it's mirroring what the Fed is doing. So that's the good news. We do expect that to be even better in 2025. However, what we are seeing in the data is that there are far fewer younger consumers in the market. And so this affordability that we've been talking about is really apparent in the number of youthful consumers. I mean, we say youth, those 35 and under continue to fall every year as the affordability concerns just become worse. We're seeing transaction prices fall every year, and yet we're seeing monthly payments rise. Because consumers that have trade-ins, they're losing that trade-in value that they used to have.
There's a lot of shock when people come in to trade in and they realize they're going to be paying more per month for the same level of vehicle or maybe even less.
Right. So, and that's with consumers with a trade. Imagine being a new consumer. You're out of college a couple of years and you want to go get a new car and you don't have that trade. You are taking the full brunt of all the price increases we've seen, and that's making vehicles very unaffordable.
Any insight or thought onto the negative equity situation that is obviously unfolding? Like you said, this is a decades-long thing as we see that, you know, a lot of people coming in off a trade cycle and realizing that if they purchased in 21, 22, there's a lot of negative equity.
There certainly is. I mean, we're seeing negative equity up to about 23% of deals.
Wow.
Now, it never really got below like 18%, even at the best of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's rising.
So
but
it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just negative equity or not.
Correct.
That's not the amount of negative equity.
Exactly,
Got it.
exactly. And so as we're seeing consumers to work through the vehicles they purchased in 21 and 22, when prices are at their high, those consumers are going to be hit the worst. And it may take them a little while longer to come back to market. Thankfully, though, we're still drawing from that pre-COVID environment, the consumers who bought in 19 and then even into 20, who are in a better equity position. But this is something to continue to watch here in 25 and into 26.
Well, Tyson, as always, thanks for giving us the overview, the bird's eye view. Thank you for making it in and continuing to put on this. And you all just had a very open hand. Said if you're in town, come and hang out and be at this event. We're looking forward to the rest of the program and the rest of this year.
Hey, and appreciate what you guys do at ASOTU, reminding us, to focus on people more than cars, right?
That's right. People drive the numbers.
So, yep. Thank you.
Thank you.